How's it going, guys? Welcome aboard. We're looking at Xbox shutting down some developers, some studios. My bad. Anyway, so the situation at Xbox looks like it keeps getting more grim. Flowing report earlier today, Microsoft is considering shutting down compulsion games. Personally, I have not really heard of these, and I haven't played these games. Behind the award-winning South of Midnight. Okay. They're also talking about shutting down Double Fine, and from my understanding, they have, or they're like, I think this is the big one, the Ninja Theory one that they're basically shutting down. They are both reportedly facing closures. Ninja Theory just announced that it's working on a third game in the Hellblade series, right? So what I want to kind of talk about is, like, from a business standpoint, I think Xbox is really trying to push the Game Pass, right? They want the subscriptions. That's why they've moved to lowering the price down. And you have to think about, why is Xbox doing this? Why is Xbox shutting down? Come on in. Right, from a standpoint of like a business standpoint, why are you shutting down games like this? I think with Steam going to launch their new console, it's always been this thing between Xbox and PlayStation, right? And now you're about to have Steam come into the console wars and like grab a huge lump sum out of Xbox and PlayStation. And like from Xbox, your mindset has to be, how can we gather up a bigger fan base right now? Because this is like the last opportunity to gather up a huge fan base before another player enters the game. It's like these studios are making, like, this is like basically it's Hellblade 3, right? It's like, okay, if you're developing Hellblade 3, are you gaining new players from a third installment in a game? You're probably not going to have a lot of people that go, oh, let me buy an Xbox for Hellblade 3 or Psychonauts 3 or something like that. These are multiple installments. They're not bringing in new players, right? Now, they are, like, doing service for their existing fan base, right? Which is something that you do want to focus on because you want to keep your fan base happy, right? You want to keep your players happy. But I think right now at this time, they're really trying to push for new players, right? They want someone that goes, oh, look at that game. I want to buy an Xbox and I want to get Xbox Game Pass, right? I don't think these third and fourth and fifth installments are going to bring them in. And I say that because if you look at Halo, and you look at Gears of War, right? Halo, they're not making Halo 7, right? I think if they made a Halo 7, especially after Halo Infinite and Halo 5, you've got people going, oh, Halo 7? I'm not worried about it. The last 2-3 Halos all sucked monkey nuts, right? I'm not going to buy an Xbox and get Game Pass for Halo 7. But you go, oh, they're remaking the first Halo? Oh, that's like the really good ones. They're remaking this one. Maybe now is the time I jump into Xbox and I start, fresh. I can play Halo 1 now, remastered and everything like that, remade. It's like an entry point, right? Whereas, like, if they're making Halo 7, it's like, that's not an entry point for a new player. But Halo 1 is. I think that's the same reason why they're going back to, like, chronologically the first Gears of War. This is, like, chronologically, it's the first Gear game. And I think that's kind of why you see both of these huge franchises, both these huge, like, brands, Gears of War and Halo, they're going back to the start, right? They're not continuing with Gear 7 or Halo 8 or 7, right? I know you really want me to say 6, 7. They're starting over. And I think that is to kind of open a doorway into new players who haven't gotten left behind and they have to later on jump in a new installment. You know what I mean? Like, if, like let's take for, like, I'm an Xbox person, right? I've never had a PlayStation, though. If they make Spider-Man 3, right? If I haven't bought in the PlayStation yet for Spider-Man 1 and 2, what is the probability of that I'm going to buy a PlayStation for Spider-Man 3? It's like probably 0% chance. I didn't play the first two, right? And I love Spider-Man. I didn't play the first two. I've looked at those games. I'm like, they look all right, but they don't really interest me greatly. You know what I mean? There are a lot of Spider-Man games, but it's like Spider-Man 1 and 2 aren't going to be a reason I buy PlayStation. It's just the third one. It's a continuing one. Whereas it's like, I think the game that made me most tempted, right, to even make me even think about buying a PlayStation was like Helldivers 2, and even though it was the second one, it was kind of a completely different game from the first one, right? So it's like, I think when you introduce a new game like that into like your console console exclusive, and thank God they gave it to Xbox. I'm so glad they gave Helldivers 2 to Xbox. It was a fun game. But it's like you look at something like that, it's like that's what brings in new players. A new game, right? The third installment isn't going to really, like, you know what I mean, usher in a new wave of people going, oh shit, I need to buy a PlayStation for Spider-Man 3, right? But if you come out with something fresh, it starts to get that, like, traction. It catches the eyes of people that, you know, aren't really in the PlayStation community. So I see a lot of people, like, talking about, oh, Xbox is going downhill. Oh my God, they're shutting studios down, laying off people. It's probably, I think, obviously, I'm not inside Microsoft. I'm not inside Xbox. I don't know. But from a business standpoint, I think you need to understand that it's like now is the time to gather new players for like as a business standpoint, you know, and try to get as many people on Game Pass before you know you have Steam coming in with the Steam machine and the new console. A lot of people are like upset. Oh my God, Xbox is like going downhill and stuff like that. And I don't think they really are looking at it from the aspect of the current like console situation with Steam and everything. But it does suck for people who do want to play those third games and everything like that. Like I said, it's kind of like a disservice to your current fan base. Like you do want to keep your current fan base happy, but it's like a stagnant company is kind of a dying company, you know, because if you're not growing and you're not moving in the right direction, it's like another company is. A newer company, a newer business is going to move in the right direction. So even if something is the wrong direction, it's like at least you know where not to go, right? And Xbox, I think, is eventually going to figure that out. Listen, I'm not glazing shit. Okay, don't go down in the comment section and say, "Oh my God, Xbox fucking bootlicker." Like, no, calm down. I'm just saying, like, I'm personally, I don't give a fuck. I never played these games anyways. But just kind of my thoughts on it. It's interesting to see where they go, and I hope with like Halo 1. I never played any Gears, but I love Halo. I hope them revisiting Halo Combat Evolved and Halo 1. I hope it kind of re puts them back on the right tracks of success, which is exactly where we're heading when you get your ticket and you subscribe and you get on board. All right? So I'll see you at the next station. Bye-bye.